Now there's places in New York now, I heard from one of my students, there was a place that opened, a bar that was opened in a Jewish neighborhood. And also one, I think it's like a chain, that was open in another neighborhood. Long story short, they make all of these flavored drinks. Flavored alcoholic drinks. Making drinking more fun. The problem is that based on all the checks, aside from the fact that you should never go into a place like that when it has a bunch of immodesty, he says, I'm seeing a lot of people that call themselves religious go there and thinking, no, it's just liquor. It's just, what's the big deal? It's just liquor. What? There's no kosher sign on it, but it's just a drink. What, there's pig in the drink? Yes, there could very well be pig in the drink. And many other things. And that's what people don't understand, is that if it doesn't have a kosher symbol on it, there's a reason. There was a orange juice that wasn't kosher for many years called Sunny Delight. And people always made fun of it. It's like, how could orange juice not be kosher? It's oranges. What's wrong with orange? All fruits are kosher. All vegetables are kosher. There's no such thing as a non-kosher fruit or vegetable. So, how could orange juice not be kosher? And then, people started investigating it. And they found out something very interesting. The company Sunny Delight, which I think today is kosher, but before it became kosher, used to use an ingredient they called by code name, I think it was E320. They may have changed the name by now for this ingredient. They use this ingredient in order to make their orange juice more yellow. It's more marketable. The most yellow orange juice on the market. That's why they call it Sunny Delight. It's like it's the sun. If you see Sunny Delight orange juice next to anyone else, it's much more yellow. Looks prettier, more attractive. Wow, you're thinking to yourself, must be healthier, must be organic. You add all these things in your head, thinking it must be better because it has much better color. Not knowing that the yellow is not coming from the orange juice. The yellow is coming from the beetles that they're crushing in order to create food coloring. Crushed beetles. And crushed beetles are used in a lot of food. Today, that's not kosher. There's actually a list, anyone that wants it, I put together a couple of years ago, actually better said my wife put together, of all types of non-kosher ingredients that's in 99% of all non-kosher food. If not 100% of it. Obviously not all of it in one food. But the list, even for someone who doesn't care about Judaism, would be disgusted to eat non-kosher food after he reads this list. It has ingredients that you think just a normal food. Coffee, potato chips, beer, all types of food that's normal food. It's not kosher. People think that it's the rabbis that are cheating the system because they want more money or something like that, not realizing that it's the ingredients, not the rabbis. And these ingredients are disgusting. Everything from using the stomachs of pigs to the urine of raccoons. They actually use urine of a raccoon as an ingredient. Now anyone that has a little bit, it's not a barbarian, it's a civilized human being, when they hear the word urine and food, usually it doesn't go together. Who would want to eat this? Bugs all over the food. All types of bugs that create food coloring. Now when you look at the ingredients list of the food, it's not going to tell you, by the way, we used a roach, a spider, and 6 beetles. It's not going to tell you that. What are they going to say? It's going to tell you some code. It's going to say some chemical with a number next to it. So unless you investigate what it is, you have no idea what it is. Same thing with the stomachs of most likely pigs, because it's the cheapest animal. That's used in a lot of food that has cheese. That's why when you go to the supermarket, you see kosher cheese, there's maybe like a selection of 5 or 6 of them in America. But the non-kosher, there's 150 selection. 150 types of non-kosher cheese, but just 5 little homeless kosher ones. Like, why? Why only 5? What happened? Israel is the land of milk and honey. If you actually go to Israel, which is unbelievable how different the supermarket is over there, the milk products are half the store. You know how many different types of cheese they have in Israel? All kosher, of course. You know how many different types of milk products they have over there? It's 1,000,000 times better than America. America has to grow another 500 years to catch up to where Israel was already 50 years ago when it comes to milk products. It's amazing how it's like when I go to a kosher supermarket and I see the 5 little homeless milk products they have over there, I'm like, this is the best we have. This is the best we have. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Over there, it's like you think you're in heaven. It's like, wow, anyone that likes milk or milk products, like, wow, it's unbelievable. But now you go to the supermarket today, as you can see, I'm an eater. But you go to you go to a traditional supermarket and you see 5 little kosher cheeses and 150 non-kosher. Why? What's wrong with it? It's just milk? No, it's not just milk. All non-kosher cheese has some type of meat in it. All of it. And it's not an American creation. It's actually in the Gemara. It's in the Gemara that was written 2,000 years ago in Masechet Avodah Zarah, the tractate of Avodah Zarah, when the sages ask, are we allowed to eat the cheese of Goyim? It says no. Why not? Because they put an ingredient that comes from the stomach of animals, and usually pig. So they've been using this ingredient for 2,000 years. The Americans didn't invent it. The Italians didn't invent it. The Greeks didn't invent it. This is 2,000 years ago. It's an old ingredient. But that's why it's not kosher. It's meat. Hashem said, no meat and milk. So when someone thinks that they're being very smart by going to Domino's, or going to Pizza Hut, or going to even a regular pizzeria, and say, no, I'm not going to eat the pepperoni. I'm just eating regular slice of pizza. I'm not going to go to McDonald's and eat a chicken sandwich. Chas v'shalom. But I'll eat pizza. It's just cheese. They don't realize that this just cheese pizza has pig in it. Then when you start talking about the sauce, ooh, it's even worse. But just the cheese is a problem. So not only are you eating non-kosher cheese, which is a problem of itself, but you're actually eating cheese and meat. Which means you're making 3 different sins at the same time, because Hashem specifically told us in the Torah not to combine meat and cheese 3 times in the Torah. Same verse 3 times. To magnify the sin. Because we're not allowed to do 3 things. We're not allowed to cook it, we're not allowed to eat it, and we're not allowed to enjoy it. Now cooking I understand, eating I understand, but what does it mean enjoy it? Meaning that if you were making, let's say, a kosher burger in your house, and accidentally a piece of cheese fell on it. You can't eat it. So you have to throw it out to the garbage. I said, no, come on, chaval, I don't want to throw it out. Let me give it to my dog at least. No, not allowed. Why? Because if you give it to your dog, that means that you would enjoy the fact that you'll have to give the dog less dog food. So you're benefiting out of this milk and meat, not allowed to do it. That's how significant it is to eat milk and meat. So when someone goes and eats Domino's pizza, one of these non-kosher pizzas out there, they're thinking they're being a tzaddik. They're thinking they're being righteous, that they're not eating meat outside. They're not realizing that they're worse off than eating a burger at McDonald's. They're even worse.